Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker has now dropped 92%, which means the number one movie at domestic box office at the weekend, 1913. We all know it grossed $46 million. Because at least if you've seen my box office gross, or at least keep track of the box office and you're a new viewer, of course, you know. And basically, 90% of you guys who view these videos are not subscribed, so make sure you do. It helps this channel comment and do all that stuff. Meanwhile, we can talk about the whys of poop. What we talk about is just how monumentally low the 15.1 million fourth weekend total is for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Before we get to the bad news, let's make one thing clear. All is wonderful in the Star Wars universe. The movie is likely to hit $1 billion mark. We know for sure the worldwide box office returns slowly. So then, the Star Wars sequel accomplished the notable feat of spending time 3 weekends at the box office. Makes around $463 million, the third highest grossing movie of 2019. Top of it all, the movie is. That's his opinion, so. But here's the number we're looking at for Rise of Skywalker. At 91.5%, this fourth weekend revenue dropped from the opening weekend. After old surface Star Wars, then no surprise that Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker joined the $100 million losers club. Which houses movies that lost $100 million from its first weekend, in the same boat as The Lion King, which saw a $155 million drop as well. There was The Lion King and Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. Every movie made $175 million opening. Revenue points from opening weekends much larger from comparison. Rise of Skywalker dropped to 59%, and the fifth lowest showing for the club. This is 44% for the week, resulted in a 91.5% drop. Ties of Endgame. Yes, for the largest fourth weekend drop for anyone in the $100 million club. So here it is. Star Wars is now number one, as tied of Endgame, of course, but this is an alarming thing for the Star Wars franchise. The fact that it's a 91% drop from its first weekend is very alarming. Okay, Endgame, that did really well overseas, but also dropped majorly. But unlike Star Wars, Endgame had to on its fourth weekend. Endgame was dealing with movies like John Wick and Pikachu, which something that Star Wars doesn't have to deal with. Same thing with Civil War. It had to deal with other movies as well. Civil War had to deal with other movies as well. It came out 4 or 5 weeks, the summer movies. Same thing with Age of Ultron, Infinity War. All had to deal, and Jurassic World, Incredibles 2, and all had competition 3 or 4 weeks from actual competition to the even 1 week after the movies came out, okay? And Star Wars fourth week finally has competition. It just shows that Star Wars is a dying brand, okay? It's almost behind Rogue One, okay? This movie is just a failure, a $1 billion failure. That's all it is, okay? It hasn't even passed $1 billion yet, okay? And it's 4 weeks. It'll probably pass $1 billion by Wednesday or Thursday, or probably even Tuesday at the most. But Star Wars is just not making money. Not making enough money. Not making money. It's gonna make money, but it's not making enough money for Disney. Because Disney, is one of those companies that want a lot of money made. And you look at Star Wars, 1 billion, and today it still hasn't reached 1 billion, which is proof that Star Wars is a dying franchise. It couldn't even pass $1 billion. Rogue One was a spin-off, and it took the same amount. It took actually even faster for that to hit $1 billion than the end of the Skywalker saga. This is absolutely perfect showing from Star Wars, okay? Now Star Wars has real competition. Now it's gonna start dropping off like a flies, okay? And then this week is Doolittle and Bad Boys for Life, which will completely destroy Star Wars, okay? And then there won't be any competition until major movies until Birds of Prey comes out, okay? But Star Wars will have to be a deal with those movies next week, which are expected to gross 30 to 40 million both respectively, because people want to see new movies. 1917 will not really, will probably hold on to like 16 to 17 million, unlike Star Wars. and probably end up with like 60 million domestically, and probably end up with 100 million domestically at the end. It depends on how it holds that 17, but if you look at the box office predictions, okay, box office predictions here for January. Okay, so Universal, is a tracking by Box Office Pro, and says both Bad Boys for Life and Do It will make the same amount of money here. So Star Wars may have a one for its money. Then we have Birds of Prey coming out. Then we have Sonic coming out. And then we have Star Wars will be dead by this point. But then we have Onward coming out, which will be the only big movie for like weeks until Mulan. Basically, But this is Star Wars is gonna lose to these movies definitely. Okay, the Turning will be coming out, which is not a big movie. Never mind. But then we have Birds of Prey in a few weeks as well, and of course it's like I think this is the Super Bowl weekend. Unless Birds of Prey is the only movie coming out on the Super Bowl. But Super Bowl is coming between these weekends, which is pretty possible. Fantasy Island and all these other movies are coming out. Okay, Bombs the Boy 2. But Star Wars will probably drop another 50%, which could be pretty bad. Bad Boys for Life and Doolittle obviously are going to top the box office. And that's basically it. Goodbye.